Okay, guys, so as promised, this week's lesson in a video recording or an audio recording. All right, so this week we're going to tap into mastering self-management and developing self-discipline. So last week we talked about creators and victims, and I'm sure some of you, or hope some of you, would have tapped into and identified persons within your life that you can see to be victims, or who play the victim card, and thoroughly thought about what decisions you want to make. Because creators do more than dream. They develop the skill of translating the desired outcome into purposeful actions. They not only do that, but they make a plan and then they take one step after another, even if or even when they don't feel like it, until they achieve their objective. Goals and dreams set your destination, but only persistence and purposeful action will get you there. Only you can determine the importance of your actions. Sure, others, such as friends and relatives, will have their opinions, as they always do, but they don't really know what you value. If an action will help you achieve what you value, then it's important, and you would be crazy not to do it. Sadly, though some of us allow many people to fill our time with unimportant actions, yes, Lord, through distractions. Could you take me here? Could you do this to me? Such and such and such, sabotaging our own goals and dreams. Likewise, we can also say only us can determine the urgency of our actions. So if you're setting a goal, only you can determine how important this goal is. Is this goal something that I can wait on, such as a long-term goal, and work towards it? Or is this a short-term goal that I need to get done and accomplish right away? So it falls back on you. Well, where does your goal fit? Okay? How important is this action? What do you value? Remember, value times expectations equal your motivation. All of that was from last class. So it all falls back on you and determining if you are going to, as a creative, you're going to allow persons to take control of your time, make you feel as if it's not important, make you feel as if you don't have a plan. And trust me, life will throw you some curveballs and make you feel as though, hey, I can put this on the back burner and come back to it. And that's where a lot of college students get tied up, because they say, okay, well, I have 4 classes. This assignment is not as important as the other, so I'm going to do this one. But little do they realize, excuse me, the weight of the assignment, that the weight of the assignment that they're putting on the back burner is more than the one that they're trying to get done now, because that class is due, or that class is coming up before this one. But that's where a balance comes into play as well. If you are an organized person, a structured person, a person who pays attention to detail, pays attention to like I said, structure and organization, then you would better be able to balance yourself, balance your time. So mastering yourself, now we tap into managing yourself. Okay, so that involves you've already said that you're this creator. You've already said that you're this person who is going to take control of your time, take control of your goals, and actually put your best foot forward. Are you going to now invest in a organizer? Are you going to invest in yourself by saying, listen, I'm going to write down all of my appointments. I'm going to create my to-do list. I'm going to do all of these different things to try and keep me on track with my assignments and keep me on track with what I say I'm going to do. Like for me personally, I actually every month write down my bills on the date that I paid them, so that I can make sure when I go back, if there's a hiccup, I can say, okay, let me look back. On this day, I paid this particular bill. So I know, because I'm a person who pays most of my bills, well, all of my bills online, I can go back into my email or go back into the app and pull up that particular month and that particular day, and I can see my bills. I can see, okay, yes, I pay a job. This is the receipt right here. So I've already disciplined myself enough to be that structured individual. Mind you, yes, life throws you some curveballs and things happen. So sometimes you're not as on it every month as you should be, but it's not because I allowed someone to interfere with what I was doing. It's just that, you know, life happened. I might have had some work to do, a class or something, and I forgot to do it that night. But it's never that far gone in the back of my mind. Why? Because I've mastered myself. Okay? So now you have to decide what works for you. The secret to effective self-management is making choices that maximize the time you spend. Let me read that again. The secret to effective self-management is making choices that maximize the time that you spend. So, once again, we're talking about choices. You choose what works for you. No one else can choose that for you because nobody else knows what you value. So we talk about the DAPS, writing down your goals. It should have a date. Let me look it up. Make sure I'm giving you the right thing. Okay, it should be dated. It should be achievable. It should be something personal to you. It should be positive, and it should be specific. All right? So nobody knows your goals better than you. But how are you really going to achieve it if you're not conscious of the time? You're not reminded that, hey, I have to get this done in order to get that done. All right? So you have to decide and make up in your mind that I'm going to become a self-managed and self-disciplined person. It's one thing for me to teach you, okay, yes, write down your goals and do all these different things and whatever, but I can't not tell you the other part, which is, hey, you have to want this. You have to make up in your mind that, hey, it's about me. And remember, I said my class is twofold. I'm going to teach you or speak on college and preparing and make the lessons applicable to college, but at the same time, I'm also trying to help you in your personal life. Okay? So you're going to hear me make reference to both aspects. Okay? So every semester, perfectly capable students abandon their goals and dreams, not just in school, but in life in general. You signed up to be in college because you either want a tertiary education, need a tertiary education, and you need a tertiary education because you probably want to get an increase on your job, get a promotion, sorry. For some, yes, it's an increase in salary. For some, it's personal. I do it for my children. I do it as a sense of accomplishment for myself. But halfway through, they abandon their goals and dreams as if, hey, you know what, this is too hard. You know, I don't have the money. I can't get through to this. I can't do that. I can't do the next. And they just leave it. I actually just had a conversation with one of my former high school students who, when I looked at his situation and circumstance in school, did not see him going off to school without a scholarship, and he did not graduate with one. But he worked for a year, and he just said to me, well, Miss B, you know, I already got into NSU, Nova Southern University, and I'll be going off in August. I have a cookout coming up. He did little things, little fundraisers. He also gave out sponsorship letters to different companies because this is something he wants to do. This is something that is serious and imperative for him, you know. So he's pushing and doing whatever he has to do. How many of you have that same drive and discipline to say, hey, this is what I want to do. I need to get it done. Come hook or crook, come rain, sunshine, storm, snow. It doesn't matter. I am doing what I have to do. You can only do that though when you've mastered yourself and when you've become a self-disciplined person. When you want something bad enough, you will fight, you will struggle, you will commit to it. And for some of you that are maybe in a relationship or want to be in a relationship and you're wondering why this person won't commit, this person, whether it's commit to you in marriage or commit to you in a relationship, it's because they don't want to. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. A lot of times, especially as women, we make these excuses in our head. We build these stories and we say, oh, he doesn't want to because of this. Oh, he doesn't want to because of that. No. He does not want to because he does not want to. If a person really wants to do something, they will put everything into it. If that person wants to be in a relationship with you, if y'all already dating and you rowing, oh, you don't do this and oh, you don't do that, no, you don't do the next. Listen, stop. Because you making noise is not going to make the person change his or her mind. They have to make that conscious decision just like you to say, hey, this is what I want to do. So you have to make a decision now. Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? All right? Same thing with on the job. You can be there screaming from the guard saying, listen, this is what's going to work for us. This is the way I see us going. And if you're not the owner of the company, I mean, you're going to have to wait until your boss decides to see the vision. Or you can make a decision to move on. But you have choices. You have choices. You could either choose to stay or you can choose to go. So, like I said, every year, every semester, students, individuals have plans and goals that they abandon for whatever reason. But that's their choice. They chose to do that. They chose not to want to go forward for whatever reason. Now, if it's nothing medical or an emergency, anything like that, then I don't see the reason for you leaving. You can't tell me, oh, to work too hard, it's too much work and so forth and so on and this, that, the next, whatever. And I'm actually being lenient with y'all this semester because I ain't giving y'all as much work. But that's neither here nor there. You're welcome. All right? But don't fall in that category and don't be a statistic. Don't be that person that's going to just give up. Because if all of us don't have children already, some of you will have children, some of us have children, and they're going to be watching us. They're going to be watching to see if we give up, if we stick it out, if we continue on. And they are going to fashion themselves after us. And then they're going to simply say, well, you didn't stick it out. Why should I? And believe it or not, they are watching. So keep that in mind. So in other words, success takes self-discipline. The willingness to do whatever has to be done, whether you feel like it or not, until you reach your goals and dreams. Our actions reveal whether we have the self-discipline to stay on course in the face of temptation, in the face of tempting alternatives. Many students and individuals want to be successful, but wanting and doing are two different words. Everybody, listen to me. Everybody wants to be successful. Everyone. From the baby to the breast to the old people. Everyone wants to be successful. But who is willing to do the work? Who is willing to put in the work? Who is willing to sacrifice? Are you? And I'm going to leave that right there. Ask yourself that question. Am I? Am I willing to give up sleepless, like hours worth of sleep, or sacrifice sleepless nights to say, get this done? Write down this proposal, write this up, get this out for my class, get this out for my boss. Are you willing to? If you are not, then you're not willing to be successful. Persons look at me and say, oh, I stay in there till no 8 o'clock in the night to work. And I'm like, hey, I don't do this because of the job. I do it for me. At the end of the day, my name is all that I have. So if I'm sacrificing, it has nothing to do with the job. It has everything to do with me. All right? Many people choose instant gratification. Few choose the far-off rewards of persistent and purposeful action. Many begin the journey to their dreams. Few finish. Let me read that again. Many begin the journey to their dreams, but few finish. Yet all we need to do is put one foot in front of the other, again and again and again. A journey of 1,000 miles may begin with a single step, but many more had better follow. Self-discipline has 3 essential ingredients: commitment, focus, and persistence. Self-discipline has 3 essential ingredients: commitment, focus, and persistence. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all that I have for you today. It's a very short but encouraging message. You gotta make a decision. You have to make a decision. And I'm sure this is not something that you've not heard before. We're all adults here. You've heard this before. But in order for you to succeed and be a success, you have to commit, you have to remain focused, and you have to be persistent. Persistent. So I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I can't wait to see you guys on Saturday. I hope everyone, you know, is get that they've done bougie out. They didn't get all that bougie out their system. Because come Saturday, we meet hook or crook. God spare our lives, all right? So the assignment is going to follow. You guys may have a lot of work this week. I won't lie to you. But everything is going to be posted shortly. Thank you. Have a good day.